This is Philip Ang. He works as an accounts clerk in a town council. Philip suffers from muscular dystrophy, an inherited muscular disorder whose cause is unknown. He will never be able to walk, an act that most of us take for granted. Philip stays at the Cheshire Home, a home for the disabled in Serangoon Gardens. Because of his disability, he has to take a taxi to work. Every morning, an NTUC Comfort taxi arrives at the home. Punctually at 7:30 in the morning, taxi driver Ivan Ho comes to pick Philip up for work. Ivan helps him to get into the taxi. This requires some skill, but because he does it so often, it's not difficult. Ivan has been providing the service for more than a year, and a good relationship has been developed between the two.
How was your game yesterday?
Draw lah.
Very close
Not bad lah.
Ivan belongs to a small group of taxi drivers who have signed up with the Care Cab scheme. The scheme provides regular transport for the disabled to their place of work. In his office, Philip keeps accounts and deals with inquiries from the public. His work gives him the opportunity to mix freely with different sections of the public. Work is a very important part of Philip's life.
To be able to work gives me the chance to prove myself to be useful to the society. Having colleagues that are helpful and friendly is very important. It makes me feel a sense of belonging.
Philip has been performing his job very well, both in a technical aspect and sort of interpersonal relationship that he has with our colleagues. I should say that he is a very excellent worker.
He works well, quite efficient worker.
How did you help him to overcome his initial difficulties on the job?
Actually, there's not much difficulties with Phillips about the job. Most of the time he can do or perform his job just as a normal person. The only thing that perhaps we have to help him is that to move out when you go for lunch, go back to the taxi when you go back home, or when you go to the toilet. That is the thing that we have to help him. Besides that, there's no problem at all.
Very cheerful, very friendly. Like the boy next door, is he?
Do you give him any different treatment, special treatment?
No, we treat him like any one of us.
Now, Philip is fully integrated in his work environment. But what was it like when Philip first started working here 3 years ago?
Philip, when you first started work here 3 years ago, were you nervous?
Not exactly nervous, but what worries me is the facilities, the accessibility and the facilities like toileting and whether there are any steps or anything like that. But all this was actually taken care of by my boss. He actually asked me to come down here before the construction of the office to ask me about the desk height or the toilet and what kind of special, maybe a kind of a parallel bar or what, against the toilet wall.
How did your colleagues and members of the public treat you when you first started work here?
How my colleague treats me, well, it all depends on how you want them to treat you, I think basically when they first get to know you, they will avoid questions like relating to your disability, so as not to hurt your feelings, no? So they more or less avoid a question like that. So it's only when you are open to them and just be yourself, I think they will just treat you as any other people in return. See, as for the public, some are rather encouraging. They sort of ever make remarks like, well, at least you are, being useful, you are able to work. You see, it doesn't matter whether you are on a wheelchair.
So what kind of problems did you face, and how did you overcome these problems?
I think the major problem of disabled going to work is transportation. Okay, perhaps things like the basic needs or necessity of life, like dressing up. We just have to get out a little bit earlier because we will take longer time to dress up and prepare ourselves for work. So you just have to get up extra early, to be ready for work.
Philip is lucky to have friends who are always ready to lend a helping hand when he needs it. This is what makes him so happy at work.